What's going on, guys? It is Josh. Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to share something with you. I have been using, let's see, what is it called? It's called Card Dealer Pro. And Card Dealer Pro's got some very interesting tools. I've shared with you guys different ways of getting slabs up on eBay. This is kind of an interesting one, so I'm going to take you guys along with this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, man, we appreciate it. Helps out a ton. Helps us make a lot of new videos. Also, if you guys have any questions, shoot me a message, man. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how easy it is through Card Dealer Pro to take these, which I'm already running the scans on the unslabbed cards, so the raw cards, but what an interesting way to get your slabbed cards up. So I'm going to go through it. Let's jump over and see how it works. So anyway, you can see these are cards that I've run through the scanner. You can see one piece is not particularly great, so they're not pulling a lot of the one-piece cards. Not a problem. I fill it out. It is what it is. It still saves me a little bit of time because I'm not taking individual pictures of the cards. I think it also looks clean. You can see on mixed sports, though, it's doing really well. All of these colors are good colors. Typically, yellow just means there's one little small change. Red is missing. So as you're scrolling through, you can see, bricked up there. Did not get any of those. But, we're getting somewhere in the range of like 70%, 60, 70%. Guess we're bricking up some of the red down there. But what's interesting with this, as long as there are scans on the PSA side, so we go like this, I'm going to call this PSA 1.2. I've already done a couple sets. In fact, I wasn't even 100% sure I was going to have more. I'm going to do their standard template. I'm not going to put pricing in because I want to set the price individually. So this isn't like other ones that I've done where, now you can choose whatever you want. But yeah, it's not like other ones where I kind of want to select kind of a flat price and then work from there. So just to show you, top right corner, that's the serial number that it's asking for. I would be willing to bet there's a scannable version, so if you were running a company or something, you could just get a little scanner and it would just pop the scans in there. Golly, that would be slick. I probably should go do that, to be honest. It would save me a ton of time. But for now, we're just going to punch it in 927-50777 and then click enter. Set that one aside. It's in the system. 927-50778. Enter. 927-50779. So you can see that these are some that I didn't order. Again, I do a lot of PC stuff, but to keep up with my PC stuff, I usually do a little bit of, stuff I'm going to flip to help offset those costs to some degree or another, or at least attempt to. Occasionally there are misses, but I got a big hit the other day. I sold a card for $2,000 that I had pulled myself and ended up getting graded. I wasn't sure, was it worth grading? Was it worth just selling it to somebody who would grade it? But shortly after I got it graded, it ended up selling, which reinforces to me that a lot of times it really is, a graded card just sells a little bit faster. Not always, especially if the product's brand new, but that particular one sat. Fortunately, Shohei Ohtani been balling, absolutely balling. So you can see we're going pretty fast, 927-50782. And we will verify all of these. It's going to pull the photos directly from PSA for us, which is really, really, really cool. Saving us time, although if you accidentally do this, let's see, cut that, paste that. There we go. Okay, that should be right. Yes, okay. Pay attention to making sure you're pushing the enter key after each one. Once you get into a little bit of rhythm, you go pretty good. 927-50785. And I apologize. I'm just leaving this on here at the speed I went so you can see that, this is kind of the rate at which you could go. With CDP, you can sign up for this and use it. It is easier to use with a scanner, but even if you were just putting in slabs, you could sign up for this. I mean, it's like 10, 15 bucks a month. It's not crazy, but you would need to be using it regularly. I'm more showing this for somebody who might want to use something like this regularly, or somebody who wants to expand the number of cards that they're selling, increase their just the amount of product they have. Just to show you guys, to put this in context, so you can kind of see. I mean, the top level here, that is slabs. Slabs take up more space, so it's far less cards. And then the bottom level here, those are raw cards. And then you can see I've got run over. These are slabs as well. These two boxes are BGS for Pokemon. And then I can't remember what this box on the end is, but you can see I got all that. I got my printer down in that corner. I got my printer over in this corner. So once something sells, I jump over here, and this is where I ship from. It's just a tiny little table, $50 table. It's also where the breaks sit until they get processed. So it's a processing table. Kind of dual services for us on this end. Really works out well. Let's see. We're back to, yep, perfect. 9275075. Again, what this is going to do, man, it's when you see it, it's pretty cool. It pulls the cards relatively quick, although those two did not go in because I did not click back in. That's tough. Okay. Easy to look at the last two digits just to see if things are matching up. Can't use the enter key on the end. You have to use the enter key. It's very confusing. 9275076. So on the 10 key pad, there's an enter button. That one doesn't work. You have to push the one that's kind of over near the letters. So you can see we're moving pretty quick, man. I don't know how many cards I'm going to end up with. I'm doing all the cards that I have. All right, so that's all the cards that I have. I think it's close to 20, but you can see we got all the certifications in there. You do want to pull individual certs, so you pull your PSA, and then if you had some SGC back at any of the other ones, you can pull those individually. So you click search, and you can see here it's letting us know what it's pulling. So those are all the cards. Pretty sweet, man. Pretty fast. So we go ahead and add those cards to the batch. The conversion here takes just a few seconds. But it takes just a few seconds. Again, far faster than me pulling each one off of PSA, which you can do, but you can see just like that, it's already loaded up. Again, all of them are red, but it's for a very specific, I haven't put in the sale price, right? So you can see right here, it's just sale price. So at this point, all you have to do is click here. And again, however you guys price your cards, everybody prices their cards differently. You can see that a big jump from one day to the other. Why? It could be that it was sold by PSA, maybe. It could be the timing of the year. It could be, who knows. But you can see that, in my opinion, those two went through cheap. $70 seems to be right around the going price. With me, I believe that he is going to do some stuff this year, so I'm just going to put it in as like 100. Which the system should, I think I have it built to where it'll kick it up to 120. Because again, for me, I'm not looking to get rich off of any of these cards, but I do believe that, come football season, he has a couple good games, the value is going to go up just a little bit. And in general, that's going to happen at some point in the season, if that makes sense. Like, I don't expect it to be immediate. I don't expect to sell this card tomorrow. I don't need to sell this card immediately. If you wanted to sell this card immediately, you could very quickly switch this over into an auction. But just showing you guys, so at this point what I do, because I am going to be going to some shows, so I'm actually doing both of these things. So I'm going to put it in like this. Again, it's going to go up on eBay for 120. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the price on the back at 100. This is just in case I'm at a show and I cannot remember exactly where I'm at. Now, I will say this, at most shows, they put the price on the front. I far prefer that. I think that that's great because you have them inside of your case. People are able to see them, but for right now, I'm just putting it on the back. It just allows me to know if that makes sense. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're just going to mark ready to go on that one, and then we're into the next one. Looks like it is the same card. So it did this to me one time before. Super weird. So it put in 3 of the same cards. This would be the one downside. So you guys notice that as I click through these, it's 3 of the same cards. I have no clue why it would do that. It doesn't make any sense. It also doesn't make any sense that it's doing this out of order, which is kind of a pain, which means I need to jump around and find the right card. Fortunately, I'm not doing that many cards, but I'm just talking you guys through some of the weird things, because why would it put 3 in? The other time it put 1 in, one time it put 2 in, neither of which make a ton of sense. So, but I know that there's 3, so I'm just going to skip 2 and pay attention to that. So again, Grady does not look like this card is selling for a ton. I think he's got upside, so I don't know, maybe I'll put it up for like 40 bucks. Because again, I don't want to sell these cards at the bottom. I kind of want to sell them if they go up, and to be honest, if a card doesn't sell, it's fine, right? Like I can just keep it, or I'll just slough it off at some point for 10, 15 bucks, whatever I can get out of it. But for now, I'm hoping that the value increases on Grady at some point, making it a little more worthwhile to sell. If you're spending $15 a card to get them graded, 18, 20, whatever it's costing you, I'm not taking a loss on the grading, at least not anytime soon. All you'd need is for Grady Dick to have a good run during the season coming up, which isn't for, 5-6 months, but all you need for him to do is have a good run, and if he has a good run, the value should get up to 40 bucks. I don't think that's crazy. So I have had some people give me some feedback. Hey, I like to price them around comps. Absolutely. If you're trying to sell faster, definitely price them closer to the current comps. Because even this card, I'm a big fan of Scoot. I think there's a ton of room for Scoot to get really good on this Blazer team. And so I'm going to put this one at 60 bucks. Is it over the current? Yeah. I'm not trying to sell it today. I'm putting it up on eBay today, and I'm trying to sell it in the future. Right? I'm hoping that his value catches up with where I'm pricing this at some point. I've got a ton of cards that don't sell for a year, and then all of a sudden, guy starts having a couple good games, value goes up, and it sells. That's just my technique. That's how I'm doing it. If you do it different, totally makes sense. Everybody has different goals, and you need to focus on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to accomplish selling the card fast, then yeah, price it where it's going to sell for sure. But if you have time and you just have a price point in mind, then yeah, take your time, see what you can get. Again, another good one. This one is a PSA 10 Prismatic. In my mind, it was a $5 to $10 card. Grades a 10. I think it's worth 65 bucks. I don't think that's a crazy number. You can see some of the other ones are already going for 65. The green is a little more standard. It's easier to get. But we're going to mark this one at 65 bucks. Again, it is not at that price. I totally get it. That's a goal in the future, right? He has a few good games. People get a little excited. The values move up a little bit, and I get 65 bucks at some point. No big deal. And if I decide that, hey, I want to sell a couple cards quickly, and I look through, and let's say I think Stroud is somebody who's hot, so I want to move a couple of his cards, I can go into eBay and just switch this into an auction. And once I switch it into an auction, then it's just up, and I can start it at $1, run it for 7 days, have it end Sunday afternoon, middle of the Texans game, and I should get some good action on the cards. So, but again, my goal right now, get the cards up. Once I get the cards up, I can make other decisions later. So I'd rather price them just a little bit above where they're going, and then, move them when it's time to move them. So 38 bucks, you can see went for $21. So, it's going for between 20 and say high end 40. So again, I'm going to price this one at 65 bucks. I'm going to price it where I want the card to get. Again, we're outside of the basketball season. So once we get back into season, he has a few games. you know, definitely could sell for that $65 price point, and I'm in no rush. Because right now, my football cards are flying. So getting some basketball cards and getting a little bit loaded up before the season, it's actually great. I believe I pulled these ones and I bought retail stuff, so I'm in them pretty inexpensive, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put it in at 65, load that one up, go to the next one. Now, a few of these I might move quickly, but that's just because I think people are still high on him. But I also don't think it's a terrible thing to hold Wemby going into the season next year, because I think there's going to be a lot of excitement around him. This one happened to get an 8, which is not great, unfortunately. So yeah, it's like a $20, $25 card. So I'm just going to mark it at $30. Again, I'm just looking to recover my base cost and get a couple bucks out of the card. I think my base cost on these were $16, if I remember right. Maybe it was $16.99, which means it's closer to $18. So if I can get right around 20 to 25 bucks, I at least feel like I break out. You know, I have people mention as well that, you know, an 8 is worth the same as a raw card. Probably, but somebody will pay a little bit to have the card in a slab just because it is nice to have it protected. So, you know, maybe somebody gets it for their kid, spends 20, 25 bucks. They get a nice card for their kid. It's a nice little gift. Inexpensive, in my opinion, still better than buying them a toy or a Lego that's going to break or get lost, depending on obviously what your kid is into. Definitely get a gift you know your kid will treasure or value. So for this one, man, pretty nice. 130 high end, 86 low end. So we've got good numbers on this one. I will probably mark this at like 125. I'd be really happy at the 130 price point. Again, I'd probably take 100, be happy. It's one of those things where on any given card, I'm just trying to get a few bucks out of it so I can go get some other stuff that I love. I'm always buying PC cards. If you guys are in the community, you know that, you know, if you've got something Vikings, something Twins, something, any of these guys, I'm always interested in looking at them. So let's see here. We got Wembanyama Deep Space. This one is a 10 though, which is nice. This particular card, I don't know why I graded it. I basically was just grading all Wembys, but yeah, I mean, not terrible. 60 bucks. It's not terrible. Especially because a card like this, it's not worth a ton. So I'm actually going to price it right at that $60. I mean, if I can get 60, that's great. If I can't, I'll take a reasonable offer on the card. I think the card's probably a $5 to $10 card raw, but I always think graded, you got to add the, again, $15-ish grading fee, and then you figure it's worth double in a 10, right? So if it's $15 plus the $10-ish that it's worth, so you're like 25. So I figure it's at least worth 50. So asking for a small premium on it's a card. There's going to be a lot of them. I think we all know there's going to be a lot of graded Wembanyamas out there, but 10s are still going to carry a little bit of a premium. It's also a card that, to be honest, it's cheap enough that, I mean, if you wanted to grab a couple of them and just stack them away in case he becomes an all-timer, I mean, a Patrick Mahomes of that at this point would be worth a good chunk of money. So, but yeah, interesting, right? That it just automatically pulls that up. Again, you're not looking at a lot of money. I'll just mark this one at 40 bucks. I think most of these I could kind of sort of mark without even looking, but I just looked to double check. I also think it's fun to show you guys how it works, just so you can kind of see how this particular system works. And you can see how this system could be very beneficial if you decided to start selling for other people, doing consignment type work. I definitely think consignment shops probably use this or something like it to get cards loaded up quickly, because it cuts out their need to, that's 91, that's not 90, okay. Cuts out their need to take photos, speeds up the process. I'm always curious how they do it. One of these days I'll have to hit up one of the big consigners and say, hey, what would it take to come get a behind the scenes look at how you guys do things, because I find it to be incredibly interesting. So I'm guessing this one's like the 25, 30 bucks. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, it's like a $10 card. So I'll probably just mark this at 25 bucks again. If I don't clear my money, I would sit on this card. It's not a big deal. Wembanyama is going to hold value in the sense of his ability to play well. This card will not be super popular, but at some point, that card will move even at that number, in my opinion. So a 9 on this, solid, nothing crazy. I'm going to guess 35, 40 bucks. That's my ballpark on a Wembanyama Donruss base. Again, why was I grading all these? I don't know. I probably should have just sold them raw really quick, just put them up on auction, let them go for what they go for, but I love grading cards, and mostly right? 25, 21, you know, if you put them up for auction, you might get 15, 16 bucks. So let's just call it 30 bucks, and let's see how he does going into this next season. Again, no rush to sell. I've got a lot of football stuff that's moving. I actually have some soccer stuff that's been moving lately. I sold one of my kabooms, which was pretty cool. G.G. Jackson on the 10. Oh no, this is G.G. Jackson Silver 8. Oof. I would have rather had the 10 on that than the 10 on the green. I got a green 10. I'm guessing this one's right around 30 bucks. That's my guess. Ooh, worse, but I'm going to mark it at 30. Again, if it goes for 30, great. I could always crack it and just sell it raw, but I think there's some value. I live out here in the Memphis area, so I actually live down in northern Mississippi, but we go to shows in the area here, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody decides to pick that up for 20, 25 bucks. Again, no big deal on it. I would take most reasonable offers. It's not a big or important card to me. It's not one that I'm like holding on to and thinking that it's going to be worth a ton. Now, this card, on the other hand, what do you guys think? 60 bucks? Nope. But I'm going to mark it around 60 because it's right around 40 bucks. Again, it's one of those cards I figured is worth 15 bucks, 15 for grading, and then double it for a 10. So just to show you guys what I'm doing on the back side here. So I have the card. I'm putting it inside one of these sleeves because when the card comes, it doesn't have that. And then again, just on the back side here, I'm just marking it at 60 bucks because that would be my ask. I mean, if somebody came to me right now and said, hey, I got 35, 40 bucks, whatever, I'd probably make a deal. I mean, 40 is the going for sure, but we'll mark it up just a little bit, see if, you know, see if between now and the season he gets a little movement. But again, I mean, if somebody goes, look, I'll pay most recent comp, save me the shipping, save you the fees. Yeah, no problem. I mean, 30, 36, 38 bucks, 40 bucks. I mean, you can just average it at $38 and call it a day. I think it's fair for both sides. You save shipping, I save fees, call it a day. Let's see, but I'm going to mark it at 60 on eBay, see where it goes. Let's see, Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is, I was excited for this one. I had a Puka Nacua I was hoping would gem as well, but glad to have this one gem. Thinking right around 100 is what this one's going to be, but let's see. I am curious. Again, takes me just a second to put on the sleeve. If you guys don't have them and you're going to sell slabs, definitely get these sleeves. Wow, a little bit more than I thought. Wow, like 160. Crazy. All right, cool. Figured it was close to 100, but 160, even better. Even better. Can't complain about that. He's definitely going to be a big part of that offense. I'll be honest, looking at this right here, the 157 with 45 bids, this is a card that I could see myself quickly flipping to auction, actually, week one even. Just, I mean, why not turn it over? I'm not really going to hold out and hope that it gets to like $300 or $500. Jackson's not one of my guys. I like him fine. I think he's a talented guy, but it's not, you know, necessarily my guy, if that makes sense. But for now, we're just going to put it in at the 160 number. We'll mark that in. Cool. All right. Well, that's a fun one, a little bit higher than I thought. We got Victor again. Where's this Victor? I must have already posted this Victor, or I do not have this Victor. That's weird. All right. Well, let's scroll down a little bit. Look at Azur on the 10. Silver, very nice. What do you guys think? I like playing a little guessing game. How much is this one going to be worth? I'm guessing 80 bucks. I'm guessing 80 bucks. Be pleasantly surprised if it's anything over 80. Yeah, so I was close. I was close. 50, 60, right there. Not bad. Not bad. Close. Again, I'm going to mark it at 80. I don't mark them up a ton, right? I'm not looking for double what the most recent comp is. I'm looking for just a little bit over the most recent comp because we're out of season. We're not in basketball season. I think if we're in basketball season, $80 is probably the number, but for now it's not. Now, every time you click mark ready to list, it's going to throw it into the potential export because your export is going to pull just the ready to list cards. So just so you guys kind of understand why I'm doing that process. This one here, Puka Nacua base. All about that base. Got a 9. I'm guessing this is like a $30, $40 card. Nothing crazy. 30, $40 and a 9. It's Puka. There's a lot of excitement around him in general. He had a crazy season as a rookie. But I'm thinking $30. 25, yeah. I'm still going to mark it at 40. I'm going to mark it at 40 and hope that he plays up just a little bit, and then maybe we can get a few extra bucks. Again, offers are on mine, so if somebody comes in and says, hey, I'll give you 25, I just might take it and move on. No big deal. The one thing I'm going to tell you guys, as much as possible, remain open-minded. If you can make a deal, make a deal. I mean, sometimes it's better just to move on from the card, even if you think there's a little more money to be made with the card, because if you sell the card, you can go get something else for your PC. You can go get another card that you can make money on, but you don't move yourself into, you know, running either down your capital or pushing yourself deeper into debt as you're buying more cards or getting more cards slabbed, etc. 150. That's my ballpark on this one. A little bit lower than I thought. Well, I'll put it up at 120. I'll put it up at 120. I really thought it'd be closer to 150 for that. It's a surprise, actually. I thought a hollow would be closer to 150, but I thought that in Jigba would be a little bit lower, so I guess sometimes cards are all over the place. All right, we should be down to like the last 5. Player of the day. Interesting card. I'm guessing 25, $30 if there even is one. Yeah, $25. I'm not sure how to feel. Oh, and that was a gem. A gem went for $26. So this is not a big time card. It's kind of a whatever card. I think I paid $3 or $4 for it, and I thought I'd grade it just for fun. Just because it is Richardson. I think there's a level of excitement around him. PSA 9, but it's numbered. So yeah, can't really mark this more than like $25. So we'll just mark it at 25. Again, we would accept most fair offers. And I'm not hoping you guys are going to jump in and offer me anything. I'm just telling you, sharing for a mentality thing, right? Like, this is not a card that I'm going to hold hard to my number I put up. There's flexibility. There's a few cards I hold hard to. Pick and choose those. They should be very, very rare. There's only a few cards out there that are very liquid, because the fact is if you're going to hold hard to a card's value, you probably should be just auctioning it on eBay if it's that strong, if that makes sense. So that's why most of my cards, yeah, $19. I'm actually kind of surprised one sold for 20. So we'll just put it at 25. Again, I expect to get an offer, and I would accept any reasonable offer on that card. I am not hung up on it. Let's see, 25. So then we got our Great Expectations. Let me find that one. Great Expectations. Got a 9. I'm guessing $30. Again, I kind of went in on Wemby. I don't have a problem holding on to some Wembys. I think he's the most exciting. Yeah, $30. So I'll put it in at 40. We'll just hope we get some movement near the beginning of the season. 30 may be the most money you could get out of this, but the number one rule I know in sales, man, is you can always ask for less, or you can always accept less, but you can't change your mind and ask for more. If you have a card priced at like $15 and somebody comes in and says, I'll take it, you can't go, oh, well, hold on a second. Actually, turns out I want $25, right? Like, you can't go up. So I would rather price them just a little bit up and have some flexibility down. With that said, you know, you don't want to be the guy that's pricing everything 50% over comps. Nobody wants to do business with that guy. We'll just mark this one at 35. But yeah, so easy as that. Let me show you guys how easy, quick and easy it is to get these onto eBay once you're done. So easy as that, 35. Let's go ahead and add that to the pile. What you're going to do is click export. It's already on eBay. You can do Shopify. You can add connections. I've not messed with it. I'm just trying to get this to eBay. So we click export. It's actually already exported it. We're going to jump over here to our eBay listings, and I have the uploads. If you guys are curious for the link, just ask. I can get you the upload link, but I have it already set up. It's this right here if you want to try to remember it. Going to get started, click upload, choose file, and this is our 1.2, right? We did 1.1, and we did our first PSA upload. I don't know where that one ended up, but so you're going to double click this and look just like this in the lower corner here. Upload is in progress. Once it's done, we'll click active and we'll pull in, and you'll see the cards already in the system. So very quick, very easy. Upload is completed. Click active. And there they are. Bang, bang. So now you can click in. So the only downside I do need to mess with, it's putting these in as $1 shipping. So I got to figure that out, because we definitely want them to go in as $5 shipping. So I'll have to mess with that. Not sure. Pricing and inventory. So I'll have to toy with that and I'll figure that out. But yeah, kind of interesting. Really, really fast. I mean, even if they're paying $1 shipping, it is what it is. You know, I'm not super worried about it. We'll just cover the shipping. But pretty easy, pretty fast. And you guys can see the cards are all in, which is wild. How long did that take? 30 minutes to put in however many cards we just did. Let's see how many cards we did. 21 cards in 30 minutes. That's really efficient, right? We're looking at like a minute 20 a card. That's very efficient. So if I can just change the shipping on them, which might be as easy as clicking here. Let's see, go down here. It's not these ones. I might be able to like just quick change the shipping, which once you start learning these systems, it's not hard to go in and play and get stuff fixed up so you can change the way they work. In theory, they're actually all, yeah. Let's see. Let's just make sure any base card or raw cards are taken off that pile. And then we click edit, edit selected. And then what you do is you collect all, you click bulk edit, and let's see, shipping policy? I think it's shipping policy. And then we just change that to break ship, which is what I call my $5 shipping. You can call it whatever you want, but you'd set up just some sort of standardized $5 flat cost shipping. That gives you the flexibility. You know, if it ends up coming in at $4.20, you got 80 cents worth of play to make sure that you can pay for your packaging. Because packaging, as we all know, costs a little bit. So it doesn't cost me anything to change the insertion fees. Give us your opinion. No, I'm good. I don't want to do that right now. I do click through that sometimes because I do like to give them feedback. So let's click back on the Victor. This one, if you remember, had the $1 shipping. So easy as that. We just change it up to $5 shipping. So easy fix. I think that's the way I'll fix them in the future, because that's easier than getting in there and messing with the system. Because I put in a lot more base or raw cards than I put in slabs. So pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section, man. Let me know what you guys think, because I thought that's definitely pretty cool. Very easy to do. And like I said, I mean, even right now with the changes we made, we're at 34 minutes, 21 cards in 34 minutes. It's very efficient. You're under 2 minutes a card. And you know, if you were taking the pictures yourself and doing that stuff yourself, it would take longer. So if you guys are curious about anything else, let me know. Appreciate you guys checking the video out. I am